Welcome to another episode of Band Director Bootcamp, the podcast with productivity and wellness tips for busy band directors. I'm your host, Lesley Moffat, and I'm really grateful to be sharing this platform with you. As busy band directors, we know you don't have lots of time to watch lengthy professional development webinars, so we share 20-minute tidbits with takeaways you can use to support you in this awesome profession in a healthy way. And today, our guest is from just down the street from me, like literally, I could be at her place in 20 minutes. Her name is Lisa Ray. She's going into her 39th, second to the last year as a high school band director, and she's out here in Monroe, Washington. She not only has, I've heard her bands perform over and over and over at festivals. They are always looking good and sounding musical and marvelous. It's always delightful to hear them. My students always go, "Oh, that's so cool." So she knows her stuff. I've watched her do this for years. She's also an adjudicator and a clinician. She's done junior all-state bands, and she's also served on our state and regional boards in the state of Washington for the Music Education Associations. So I'm sure everybody knows who you are already, but there you go. Anyway, Lisa Ray, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, I forgot to mention what a badass you are, because she just did the Seattle to Portland bike ride, like on a bicycle. And just, so you got a lot of cool stuff, but how was that? Was that fun?
It was fun.
Might not be the word.
Well, I don't know.
Other words might have come up. But.
Yeah, it was pretty a life-changing experience, but it was great. It hit me the other day that I rode 200 miles on my bike. You know, that's kind of, it gets overwhelming sometimes. So like, whoa, I did that. But learned a lot. Glad I did it. Checked that box. And I encourage people to do it. I probably won't do it again, just because the training takes so much time. It was hard teaching and then trying to go out and ride your bike. You know, when you're getting home at 4 in March and it's dark, you can't ride. So you're using your Saturday and Sundays. So training was really, really, really difficult with my job. So I don't know right now I'll do it again. Maybe, no, I have better plans for retirement than riding my bike 200 miles. So it was great.
Yeah, high school band director training during June would have been very hard too. All the things that go.
Oh yeah, it was a lot. But I did it, and we're checking the box and we're moving on.
All right. So she's learned some things, you guys. We're going to talk about this. But I want to focus today with Lisa on the fact that she's made a conscious decision to intentionally take the last 5 years or so here of her teaching career. And I love her phrase. She doesn't want to, crawl to the finish line. She wants to run to the finish line with her pants on fire. I've known her for a long time, but now I see in her energy and stamina, and she's talked about her mental well-being and passion and how everything that in her own well-being has impacted her professionally and back and forth because of some changes and some habits that she made. Because it wasn't always roses and sunshine. Sometimes the days were hard because, like me, you also had children while doing this high school band gig. We all know how easy all of those things are. So talk to us a little bit about how things got for you, and then some changes you might have made when, and I quote you, how you found balance in your life when your job had different ideas. So.
How did I get to where I am right now? I was tired of being tired. I was tired of being in my first period band class, and the minute the kids come in, they've sucked all the energy out of you, and you're 5 minutes in the day. I knew there was some things I needed to do after COVID, and gained 20 pounds on top of the 10 that were already there. Not being able to go to the gym, not be able to be with a personal trainer, making bad food choices. After all of that, I knew that I wasn't getting any younger, and that the kids were still the same as they were when I was 22 starting this job. And so I knew that I had to make some changes. So changed my diet, focused on my sleep, found out that I had sleep apnea. So got a CPAP machine, focused on my sleep, made sure that I was getting at least 7.5, 8 hours a night sleep. Went back to the gym. Luckily, there's a gym 5 minutes from my house now where I live. Hired a personal trainer that I met 3 times a week. That was a high priority to get myself the accountability, get myself in the gym. Someone was waiting for me, get myself strong. And I knew I couldn't keep going down the path I was going. There was no way I was going to finish this job with my pants on fire because of how tired I was. So that's how I got to where I am right now.
So obviously you love what you're doing because when you get to that low point, if you weren't totally vested in this, you'd have been out of here a long time before that, right? So what makes you want to stay enough to change all these habits and to do all this work? What drives you?
I don't know. There's days where I'm like, first, going into my 39th year of teaching and most of it high school. Why did I choose to do that? All those years ago, there's people that try to talk me out of it. Like, are you sure you don't want to teach elementary music? Are you sure you don't want to teach middle school? Like, no, I want to be a high school band director. And I think I had this conversation with a few band directors. I think it's in our DNA. It's like being a firefighter or being a nurse or being a lawyer. I think it's just in us. There's nothing else I would want to do. And I still wake up every day looking forward to going to work. So there was no other options, I guess. Nothing else that drove me or still drives me. It's hard to answer that question.
I get the part when you say it's like in your DNA.
Yeah, I love what I do. I love the process. I love where we get from day 1 to day 20 or day 60 or day 180, whatever it is. Just that daily grind. I love the daily grind. I'm a habit person. So I just wake up, go, and because that's what I do and have been doing.
So you were talking when we talked earlier about, all the things we have to do, and all of us out there could start lists, or we probably have lists that are really long. And then you said that one of the things that you did to kind of help you as things felt overwhelming and the like was to do 2 things a day. Talk to us about how do you prioritize? How do you just do 2 things a day and still get stuff done?
It's, I have a long to-do list, but I have a short, today I'm going to get these 2 things done. And then if I get those 2 done, I can steal from the next day, but I'm not going to stay at school every day till 5. Now, granted, there are weeks where I'll pick one day and I might be there till 5 or 6 because I have to get certain things done that week. But I try not to be in the building past 3:30 if I can help it. 4:00 at the latest. I have kids that come after school, so sometimes we're there until 4, but man, there's very rarely am I there after 3:30. And I just look at the big picture, what has to be done right now, get those done. And then the others, it'll be there. Anybody's to-do list, you'll always have a to-do list. It's never going to go away. But what can you just feel good about getting 2 major things done? Instead of 5 half done stuff. I just think for me, it's a sense of accomplishment, and I've got to have that. And
when you set 2 specific goals, that's doable. If I'm looking at a big long list, it's just so overwhelming. I'm like, I don't even know where to start, so I won't. That's not very helpful, is it? Right?
No, you've got to
break it down.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to get those, just check those 2. And then sometimes they go faster than you think they're going to. And then you can do another one. But you've got to start. Yeah.
Give yourself permission to just do this. And,
yes.
And life does go on. I used to think the whole world revolved around my job as a band director, right? If I didn't do it, everything would fall apart. And it doesn't.
Yeah. No.
It doesn't. To think I thought it was that important. Woo! Anyway, so your 2 things a day you talked about, and then you also talked about, and other people have, about something totally outside of music. And you said with your one of your priorities has been not your nails, not the fancy stuff, but you've invested in a personal trainer. Why have you been willing to do that 3 times a week for years and years? What's the benefit?
Someone who pushes me, shows me new ways to work out. Like, I love to lift weights. And that has been life-changing, just for posture, for strength, how I feel, how I look. I love to go in and, each week see my progression on how much I can lift. And you get that with a personal trainer. Now I don't have a personal trainer. He had to go be a dad and stuff like that. But I still go to the gym 3 times a week. Most time I'm with my daughter and another friend, and we just push each other. We keep track on an app of what we've done. And if it's a new week, we're like, okay, last week we were pushing 30-pound dumbbells on this. We're going to go to 35, or, we push each other. But a personal trainer was someone that just kept me accountable, believed in me. I mean, there was times where I would just cry because I get frustrated. When I get frustrated, I cry. And he knew that. And so he just let me do it. And then I just kind of kicked myself in the butt, and then I did it. But he made sure that I was lifting correctly. He set up a plan for me. He had a book. So it was just somebody to keep me accountable, but also keep me safe and productive. Because sometimes people go to the gym, they really don't have a goal, or they don't really know what they want to do. They just show up. So there was somebody that had a definite plan. Today's our pull day. Today's our push day. Today's our leg day. This is what we're doing. And, I'm a goal-oriented person. And again, I have, boxes to check. So, I think personal trainers are, if you find the right one, they're just invaluable.
Well, as you were saying that, it made me think that, your personal trainer is for you what a private teacher essentially is when we were learning our instruments. Yeah. Somebody who can see what you're trying to learn, and to, we are the cheerleaders for our students, right? We do all those things. We see what they can't see that they can do yet and all. We need somebody to do that for us. Yeah. And we need our own cheerleaders, whether that's through a counselor or a personal trainer or a walking buddy or, right. So and you had mentioned it was so helpful, not only for your energy levels and physical stuff, but also your mindset, just having all of that there. That support. So physical stuff pays off in so many ways. And, and that support, gosh, we're always the support role, feels like. So, so
I have I have a really funny video that he had taken of me. We were doing deadlifts, and my goal was to be able to deadlift my own body weight. And so we had worked up to it. So it was 155 at the time. And I have a video of me lifting 155, five reps of it, and him just sitting there in the background. You got this. You can do, he was my personal cheerleader. And that I still watch that video because you need that. And it's so great.
Yeah. I love that. Well, before I ask you our final question here, I want to invite everybody who's listening to take a minute and think about how you could put some of these practices we keep talking about in Band Director Boot Camp on the podcast into practice in your own life. Welcome, Band Director Boot Camp listeners. If you're feeling a bit burnt out and are ready for support and accountability partners in your wellness and productivity, we have an amazing opportunity for you. Join our 90-day virtual boot camp, a community initiative designed for busy band directors like you who love their job but seek a more sustainable approach. We'll meet weekly, discuss your wellness goals, and develop strategies to help you achieve them. We'll tackle productivity hacks and fine-tune systems for the upcoming school year. With 35 years of experience, I've got some tricks and tips up my sleeve that I can't wait to share. So, as we move into a new season of our lives, if you want to feel empowered and supported by like-minded individuals, this is your chance. Reach out to me at banddirectorbootcamp.com or click on the link in our show notes to schedule a 15-minute call. Let's ensure this is the right fit for you, get you signed up, and embark on this wellness journey together. Because together, we rise. All right. I am back with veteran band director Lisa Ray, entering her 39th year of band directing. So my question for you as we wrap this up today, Lisa, is remember back in the olden days, you and me back in the 80s, when we started this gig, and think back to if you could give yourself a piece of advice back then, and maybe our newer teachers will eavesdrop on this piece. What advice would you give yourself to maybe have made it a little easier, or that you wish you'd known it a little sooner?
Probably not take myself so seriously and think that the job was everything. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh my
It's a
God.
hard question.
I resonate with that 100%.
I did used to, before kids, was at work every day till 6 or 7 for some crazy reason. I'm trying to think, what did I do until 6 and 7 o'clock at night? And also just, I wish I would have taken more time for myself, made sure that I was, eating, sleeping. I've always kind of worked out, but I think I could have done a better job of it. But I think I was just really felt like I needed to stay at work every day till 6 or 7 to be a good band director.
Well, when we first started, it took us, as a new teacher, it takes you longer to do the things that you and I can now do in a matter of seconds because we've done it 80 trillion times.
Yeah.
But when you're first starting out, those accolades feel really good. You take the band somewhere. And so it's kind of addicting. It's like, wow, I get all these accolades. It's hard work. But once you get out there and do that, it gets to be fun. And it's hard to find that, when you don't have a partner and children at home, it's really easy. I know. And even when you do have them at home, it was easy sometimes to spend too much time at school. We had a lot of those conversations in my house.
Yeah. Well, and I was married to a band director also. So it was hard to find that balance, and luckily we had a great nanny kind of babysitter that took care of the kids, and she'd keep them on Friday nights after football games. We'd pick them up the next day. I mean, we were kind of lucky in that regard, but, I don't know if there's a lot I would have done differently as a young band director. I know I just want to encourage everybody to ask for help, bring people in, keep your ears open. I remember somebody telling me, keep your ears open, keep your mouth shut. Just listen and listen and listen. And then weed through the stuff and find what works for you. Just talk to as many people as you can. And enjoy the ride. It's been a great career. I'm looking forward to the next adventure, but I really can't see myself doing anything else. And I'm very thankful for all the opportunities I've been given. And I hope that there's something I said today that resonates with somebody and can help them just feel good and maybe make their job a little bit less crazy, but it is a crazy job. It
is crazy. It's frustrating. It's exhilarating, and it's so many things.
It's so many things.
And that's why I always say, I love my job. Sometimes it was killing me because there was just so much. And so as we wise up with age and experience, we learn some things. So we seasoned folks are just trying to share some of this as the rest of you are getting started, because we know the joy of doing this for a long, long time, being part of a community. Can't go to the grocery store without running into people or their kids or their children and all the things. And it's pretty awesome.
It is.
I know what you shared today. Somebody's going to go, hey, I haven't thought about training, or I miss doing my weightlifting or bike riding for me. I remember now. So, or all the sleep, right? Getting the sleep. So
sleep, super important.
Hard to do when you have those stupid 0-period jazz bands and the nighttime events, but whatever.
It is. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank Lisa Ray for being here today on this edition of Band Director Boot Camp. And thank you to all you listeners who are making a difference in kids' lives every day through the magic of music education. The work you do matters, and so do you. Join us next time on Band Director Boot Camp for another episode of productivity and wellness tips to make your life a little easier.